Hello, my name is Olivier. I'm a German reportage illustrator based in London. I create drawings with texts. I call them visual essays. My second book just got published in Germany, Switzerland and Austria. It portrays Syrian refugees that I have met over the last 3.5 years. The project started with a commission from Doctors Without Borders, Médecins Sans Frontières. They wanted me to visit Domis, a refugee camp in Iraqi Kurdistan, to create drawings which would help raise awareness of the refugee circumstances. Because my drawings take a long time to do, I don't draw on location anymore. During field visits, I concentrate on getting the story and photographic references. Later on, in my London studio, I use this material to create my drawings and texts. One of my favorite stories is of Mohammed, a carpenter from Damaskus who I met in Domis. He told me how he and his family barely survived the detonation of a barrel bomb that got dropped on their house from a helicopter. The drawing of Mohammed and other drawings were exhibited at the Fumetto International Comics Festival in Lucerne, Switzerland, as well as in Germany and in England. They have been published internationally. I was very pleased when I heard that these drawings won the World Illustration Awards 2015. The work led to a second assignment from Doctors Without Borders. In August 2015, they sent me to Kos Island in Greece to create drawings documenting the circumstances of Syrian refugees arriving on the island in overcrowded dinghies. With no permission to leave the island, no bathrooms, no dignity, Syrien, a physiotherapist from Aleppo, and her elderly parents were forced to sleep on flattened cardboard boxes. Now for my next project, I would like to tell the story of Almotaz, a young Syrian from Damaskus who found refuge in Bogota, the capital of Colombia. I met Almotaz in Bogota at the Entre Viñetas Comic Festival last year in September. He told me the story how he fell in love with his Colombian wife Jessica while she was studying English in Istanbul. She was hoping to join him in Damascus, but then the Syrian conflict began, and she returned to Colombia. When the Syrian army called Almotaz to duty, he decided he didn't want to kill his fellow countrymen. So his father had to sell the car to pay for Almotaz to be smuggled to Lebanon. After a long struggle to get to Colombia, where he was granted asylum, Almotaz was able to join his wife in Bogota, and they opened a small Syrian restaurant. Who would have known Syrian food would have done so well in Colombia? Now, Almotaz plans to open his second restaurant in Bogota. During my stay in Colombia, I spent time with Almotaz. I documented his daily life. Now his story is ready to be told. Over the next months, I would like to work on telling Almotaz's story. Almotaz is an example of why we shouldn't turn our backs on refugees and of how refugees can enrich our lives and our society. Within 2 years, Almotaz has opened a successful restaurant, enriching his community with his culture and ambition. Almotaz told me that a brother of his was granted asylum in Stuttgart, the city in Germany where I was born. Together with his brother and Jessica, Almotaz now plans to open a Colombian restaurant in Stuttgart. I need your help in supporting me to tell Almotaz's story. This is a job which will take 3 or 4 months to do. Afterwards, Almotaz's story will be published in the Swiss comic journal Strapazin, in both German and English, as well as in an English edition of my own book. And this is only the beginning. But the fees for publishing don't afford me the time I need to do the story justice. Please help me continue to do the much needed work of bringing awareness to the possibilities of the refugee crisis through the story of Almotaz. My father is a refugee. His parents were refugees. Do you have any refugees in your family? Help me tell this story with your support.